Hey guys, today I'm going to be covering the ServiceNow stock because it's in a bit of a pickle. It's currently trading at 98 and 96 last time I checked. I think today it closed at 96, down from 208 just a year ago. So I'll go over like the overall what the business does, uh, how sticky it is as a software, their Q1 earnings. I'll go over their AI um, agent solution and bet, and I'll go over like other stuff. So I've been studying this stock for, I have a position in ServiceNow. It's a small position in my portfolio. It's about 2%, but I'm going to be growing this position in these price range. So I first got in when the stock dropped at 17% in the on the earnings. Since then it went down. No, since then it went up, right back up. Um, I was up 40% at some point on it, but now I'm back. I'm up at only 10 to I think 12% that I'm up about. So just to give you a background on my position, so basically it's as if on the earnings instead of going down 17, it went down 5%, but we're still under 100. It's at 98 billion of market cap, 56 of PE ratio, which is pretty high, but it's a strong growth stock, and on a forward basis it's at 22 right now. And they keep beating like earnings. They've beat and raised on the last five earnings consecutively, and so even that's kind of conservative, even the forward basis. um, yeah. So what does ServiceNow do, to put you in context? Um, it's I work with service. I use ServiceNow at work. I don't use it to the full extent of its ability, but it's kind of like an operating system for the whole enterprise that you're in. So HR, HR department, IT, customer service. Everyone that works like on the phone, customer. Normally for us, we have our procedures like our to see like the steps that we have to take for a specific manipulation that we have to do in an account. I work in banking, so that's how we use it on my side of things. But when I have an IT situation, we also use it. Um, and so it's very, very broad. It, it's like it covers the whole organization essentially. The services that are internal to it. And even when you talk to customers and such, you use it as a way to have all of the information that you need to, like, like I was saying, like to do certain manipulation and such. Um, so that's what they do. They also do like for cybersecurity, security. It's all it's all in one, and it's like because it's all in one. It has the database of all of the information within a company, and so that kind of leads me to my second point, which is it's super super sticky. Okay, they have for the past 3 years consecutively, they've held a 98% retention rate, and they're currently at 8,800 clients, and they keep growing. Um, so that's a very very strong like group of population, like 8,800 software clients. It's a gigantic company. They have 85% of the Fortune 500 as their client base, which is ridiculous. Okay. um, the people talk about agentic AI, and they go like, oh, they're going to be competing with CRM, which is super big and stuff. But it's like, dude, if you think that within a software like agentic AIs are competing with one another, it's within a specific, like if you're using it for IT, for like customer support, for HR, all of this stuff, you're not competing with a CRM, which is like for mainly for like sales and such. Obviously, I'm not as well versed into CRM, but I don't think they have. I don't think that CRM is going to cap the growth of ServiceNow in any way, shape, or form. And you know, they're not going to be competing with agentic AI and Adobe for creative stuff. You know, so they have a 98% retention rate. They also have 85% of the Fortune 500, 8,800, and that's as of Q4 2025. I think they reveal it at the end of every year, because it wasn't a part of the in the Q1 earnings. It dropped this figure, which is for the last quarter of 2025. And now what's nice about this is that there could be a bear thesis on stickiness with the AI situation going on. But here's the thing. We have this situation which has all of the data of the company, and they have integrated Now Assist, which is their agentic AI solution. It's trained on like 7 trillion transactions, such as IT, like transactions as like an IT exchange, stuff like that. It's really trained on, and it's trained across 95 billion contexts, like business context, which makes it like it's very, very strong for an enterprise software, enterprise AI solution, especially because it's the agentic type, which kind of makes it a lot superior to like another type. Like it works as an agent essentially within the system using the database that you give it. So that's like it's very, very well integrated. It's not like you have this, like you have your ServiceNow stuff, and then you have to put the data into like a Copilot AI. You have to put that into a Copilot AI agent. It's integrated within the database right away, which makes it so much better, and it's such a moat because there's no other companies with this level of they have 85% of the Fortune 500. They don't use this company and then another company for their IT, HR, and such. And they're now integrating AI, and so obviously these companies are gonna be want to be exposed to that because it's gonna help them accomplish tasks. Like for example, their AI solution, it was said that now currently that's broad numbers. It's not really specifics and such, but the agents are able to be added to the workflow, in which essentially they accomplish 90% of the tasks autonomously. For IT and for customer support tasks, like BA, like a ticket, 89. So it's essentially 90% across the board that they're completing those out of their own, doing autonomously without human interactions essentially, which those are also insane figures. Now they're not that specific. It's not clear to me what that means, but what that means is that it's freaking good. Okay, it's very, very strong, very well integrated, and it's already a very well integrated like software into the community. And now they have this agentic AI that's like added to it, which is going to make it even stickier. Obviously, I don't think they're going to go to 103% of retention rate, but they're definitely going to be keeping like that 98%. I think is there to stay. And that's me. So the way that I see it going essentially as an essential database, because if you switch platform, you have to switch all of those database into it. You have to retrain the people into the different platform, and that's for all. So if you change ServiceNow, it's not like for the IT department. It's not for like at VP level. A singular VP can go, oh yeah, we're gonna switch it to that thing. It's company broad, okay, which means that it must be at CEO level. It must be done across the whole organization. Every single department must be trained back on the new platform. This is a ridiculous change for a company that is integrating AI and such. Do you understand how much work that would take to do and how long it would be? How, like, companies are not going to do that on for a negative ROI. And the amount of time that it takes, let's say there's a blackout of 4 days. Do you know how much money they're losing in those 4 days? They won't make back by switching for a solution that's better. And guess what? There's no competitor to ServiceNow that is close to the level they're at. That's the reality of it. That's the full reality of it in this market. Unless you have one, like, you can comment it down below. But I don't think you do. So we'll look at the Q1 of 2026 where they dropped 18%. Okay, keep that in mind when I tell you these numbers. So we have now. I have a sheet with me. I have like my notes, which I've been looking at a little bit here and there because I've been studying this company for a very long time, and I did a full briefing before this. So now you have on Q1, they have $3.77 billion in total revenue, which is up 19% year over year. 1.667 billion free cash flow, which is 44% margins, which is very strong. They have 32% non-GAAP operating margins, still good. It's up from 29.5. So they have margin expansion on top of the 19% revenue growth. They have 3.67% of their revenue, which is subscription based. And that's perfect. I think it started raining here. Sorry if you're hearing that. It's a little bit of a storm out there. It's 97% of their revenue, which is based on their which is subscription based. And even when it's going to be with Now Assist, it's still going to be included within their subscription revenue. Well, I think it's going to be because, well, it's only, like, for me, the bank I work for, the financial institution I work for, we don't have it with the Now Assist solution. And so it's like an add-on to up the price, which is, by the way, once it becomes fully integrated and AI becomes like a lot more like used for by most companies, even those that aren't like tech companies and such, it's gonna be it's gonna create some operating margin expansions for sure, and net as well. Yeah. We also have 27.7 billion in RPO, which is their their remaining performance obligations, which is essentially signed contracts that they have. Their CRPO, I think, is around 12.5 billion on top of that. So that's for the next 12 months. And currently signed. So that's essentially, which is contracts that are going to be consumed within the next 12-month period. So they have about 12 billion. They have another 15 billion remaining. Now, I don't know how long the contracts they sign. Maybe they sign like 3, 4, 5-year contracts. Maybe it's annually, which clearly it's not fully annually, because else everything would be CRPO. But like the CRPO, which is like the current remaining performance obligations, are included within the RPO. So they have another 15 something billion, which is probably like 2-year contract, 3-year contract. If it's 2 years contract, that would be phenomenal, because it means that they already have signed for 15 something billion for next year, and on top of like the client that will be like, upsold, added to the client list, etc. That would be phenomenal, but I don't know. We don't have these details. Next we have, they've beaten Raise. They that's that. Next, they've add with their Now Assist into how it's been integrated. It's within the company. They've grown, so 1 million in annual contract value plus a Now Assist. So they've only included that data of clients that have like annual contracts of over 1 million that are using the Now Assist like service premium upgrade. That they have 100%, 130% growth year over year. Just don't know. I think that they have overall the amounts of contracts that they have above 1 million is 644. I'm pretty sure. That's what they had, like, that's what they dropped. Figure, which was up 40% year over year. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm pretty sure that's it. So that's very strong. So that's very strong growth. So a part of that, it's like 130%. That is including the Now Assist solution, which is probably going to grow revenue even more. We're not sure how that's going to be. Sorry, guys. We're not sure how it's going to be added to the earnings, but I'm sure it's going to create margin expansion. Also going to have an impact on revenue, obviously. And I want to touch on the CEO, McDermott, Mr. McDermott, who said that the company by 2030, it, as a bear case, would be $30 billion, would do 30 billion in what was it, in subscription revenue, which obviously includes the Now Assist. That's a bear case, he said, which I thought was interesting because with all of their beat and raise right now, they've, last quarter was 3.77. Within the next year, they will probably be at like 16. That's what I think. I think they'll reach 16 billion on an annual basis for 2026. I think 2027 they'll be at 20, and then I think I do think they'll reach that 30 billion. I really, really don't think that's like a super bullish take, which that's interesting. But when you look at the financials, the numbers, and I really do see it being a $30 billion company. I really don't think that was like just a. It sounds weird when you look at a company that's doing like 12 billion and he says, oh yeah, within the next 4 years it's gonna almost triple. It's just 20% year over year growth. That's what they have pretty much every single time. Like all of their year over years, like 19%. And the stock went down 18%, but they had 22.5, 21, 20, 19. Like it's always within those range. And I think that now that they have like the Now Assist, which is growing strongly, it's going to have an impact on revenue for sure. And so that can push it to a 23, a 24, a 25%. They just need one or two of these quarters, and by the way, not even, because you talk about end of 2027 if we're at 20, like I was saying. Then you talk about 2028, you're at 25. Or like, let's say you're even at 24. Like you're at 28. If you just grow, like that's if they just grow 4 billion, by the way. Like that's not growing at 20%. At 20%, they'll be like at 35 something, So that's a bear case. It's kind of a bear case in a sense. Like, can they keep growing this way? It's not clear to me. I don't know how much runway they have. Like, I don't know what the TAM, like the total addressable market is. But I do assume that they still have some strong runway because they do keep growing the subscriber base quite a bit. And I mean, they still have 15% of the Fortune 500 to go get, you know? Um, but like they are able to keep expanding, and they're able to upsell with Now Assist, that's the interesting part. And once Now Assist is well integrated, they might have a lot more pricing power. We'll see what if there's other competitor that can come close to it in some way. But with these numbers, I mean, I don't see anything that has like this level of stickiness and that can replace, like, if you're not using ServiceNow, what are you using? You're using an IT service, you're using an HR service, and it's all within whatever. But it's not as unified, and it doesn't have that mode that like ServiceNow has. So I do think they'll have pricing power to increase if they have like customer situations. But over the next couple of years, I'm very, very bullish. I don't see how AI disrupts ServiceNow in any way. I think database, like a strong database and relation, like when a ticket is sent, it's sent to another human being, okay? That's beyond the realm of AI. Now, AI can do like 90% of them, but they'll still have to be this like relationship, in the sense that there still has to be this transaction within a human and another human through a ticket and such. Or maybe it's AI that sends the ticket to another human. But this platform, the database it has and everything that it's trained on for the company, this is there to stay. And I don't see how you can use like an agentic AI outside of a software like that. I think they have the perfect positioning to benefit from the AI revolution. Jensen Huang from NVIDIA. Fun fact, now I'm in my others list, like the other information I thought was interesting. So Jensen Huang said that it is destined, and that's pure quote, destined to be the best platform, the operating system of enterprise AI agents. Now, I don't know, like, I think it's Brian, his first name, Brian McDermott, the CEO. He's very flashy and stuff, so I don't want. It reminds me of like Succession stuff, like I don't want to be like, oh yeah, man, if Jensen Huang said it, it's gonna be super cool. But I really do feel this way when I look at this company and analyze it for what it does, like their financials, everything. I see that's kind of the vision that I also have for it in some way, and it's really but that could be confirmation bias, right? I just don't think it is. I'd love to hear like a bearish thesis on that, you know. And as well, balance sheet very strong. They have a total debt and a net debt of 0, but a total debt of 2.4 billion. They have 14.5 billion in invested cash. Okay, they have like 0 debt obligations that are going to cause problems, and they've been also doing strong they've done like strong M&A, mergers and acquisitions. Armis, I don't know the names of the other two companies, but Armis has 7.5 billion acquisition that they've done, and on their latest balance sheet, their debt is of 2.5 billion. That's ridiculous. They have Armis and another company of 2.5, another company of 1 billion. And that's essentially to boost the cyber security and everything for the for the AI infrastructure and for the infrastructure of their software platform overall. I also have to talk about the AI. They call it something. Damn it, I'm missing it. AI tower of whatever, which is essentially the spot where the AI solution is. It's an AI watchtower, which is essentially exactly what it sounds like. They have this AI watchtower, like that's a part of their ecosystem, and that's very interesting because you can watch all of the like deployment of AI, agentic AI, and all every single department, or maybe it can be like sequenced better in some way, like between departments, but it's essentially where you have a global view of the agentic AI um, deployment within the company and what actions they're doing. So that's like super good, and that's a good way to like retrace if there's been a problem with an IT ticket that has been treated, because they do 90%, so it's that has been resolved more so, and so you can go back to it, you can backtrack into this like specific agent, etc. Which that's very good, and that's why they're doing acquisition, is to build this essential watchtower, which has been built from what I understand. Obviously, it's gonna have to be improved, and like every AI situation right now, it's still like in the improvement process to be able to fully be integrated into like the workflow. But I think ServiceNow is the software with the best um, within what they do, right? Maybe there's other, like maybe CRM are super great as well, but they don't do the same thing. CRM is not an IT, and like it's not like an operating system for a business. It's a customer relationship manager, and so it's for like B2B sales, B2C sales, these kind of things, from my understanding. So thank you for watching the video, guys. I hope you liked it. If you stick to, well, if you stayed until this point, make sure you like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel, guys. I had my first subscriber today. I was super happy. So, yeah.